Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for our WWE Backlash 2023 preview. We're here to discuss this Saturday's huge show from a sold-out San Juan, Puerto Rico. We had Savio Vega on our intro, and I'm here with nothing but Puerto Ricans. It's Boiqua week. It's the honorary Puerto Rican week outside of what happens in June. First up, we have my usual co-host here for our pay-per-view previews for WWE, AEW. He is the 24-hour king, the ace in the face of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? We got one. We got a pay-per-view back. We got one.
First time since New Year's Revolution 2005. And yes, we had to bring in more Boiqua power. We had the representative from the Bronx. You see him over on the Twitch channel with those wrestling girls. You've seen him here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for our watch-alongs. You see him on True Hill Heat Sports representing the Giants over there. He is Justin Rich. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been 84 years since Puerto Rico's had a pay-per-view. Tears.
Y'all got it back. We're representing y'all, San Juan, Puerto Rico, the huge WWE Backlash. Probably the most anticipated WWE Backlash in like 12, 13, 14 years. It's been a while, but we got some very interesting matches on the card for this Saturday, so we're here to discuss it. But of course, we appreciate you all. If you're joining us live, you're watching us on demand, show your appreciation back. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Of course, I'd be amiss if I didn't thank you all for already subscribing, hitting 6,000 subscribers over the weekend, and we're making our next march to 7,000 subscribers. How this year is coming, it's always possible. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We want to hear from all of you. Tell us what you think about this Saturday's card. And of course, give your predictions in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, send a super chat donation if you're feeling generous. Those always help the channel grow, and it'll make sure that we highlight you on screen. We got Riggedy here who says, Bad Bunny cannot win without destroying Damian's credibility. We will talk about that. We also got Dolores in the chat saying, what's up, everyone? Telling you to subscribe to True Hill Heat Patreon. Best money you will spend. Thank you so much, Dolores, for that. We also got her saying what's up to everyone here on screen. And let's real quick before we get into the card for this Saturday, we're coming off the heels of the WWE draft. Any comments and thoughts, as this will be the last major premium live event before, you know, the rosters are now set in stone for probably all of 3 weeks. Justin, what did you think about the WWE draft from this past Friday and last night?
I'm actually surprised the Bloodline stood together as a whole, because the way they've been kind of teasing the friction between the Usos and the Tribal Chief, you would think like the Usos go on a separate brand, but now they're actually keeping everyone in full force. I was like, very interesting. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I wanted some type of storyline to it. I think we either talked about it on True Hill Heat this past week. Like I was saying, like the interesting thing would have been like if the Bloodline, like the Usos, were gonna get drafted to SmackDown, and then Heyman came out with a card and was like, and then they get drafted to Raw. That would have been interesting. Them staying in Pat, and then Sammy and KO going on Raw, as well as Ray going on SmackDown, and Dom staying on Raw. It seemingly is ending the two hottest feuds in WWE at the same time. But I mean, I said it in the chat yesterday, and I know Romeo will probably echo this. The draft just seems like a flawed concept in general. But what do you think, Romeo, watching it live as you did on Rated Raw Superstars yesterday?
It's boring as hell. It's boring as hell. They're trying to be the NFL draft, but the NFL draft is a real sport. You can script this. You can create drama. You can create entertainment. Do it. It's just boring reading one name after the other. I like seeing the legend and all that. They're announcing. That's cool. But it's just boring. There's no trades. There's no two GMs going back and forth like, oh, if you get that, I'm going to get this, blah, 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 blah. You can make it much more entertaining than it is in this lazy shit. And by the way, they spend weeks beating you over the head. Oh, you never know who might get broken up in the draft. This team could get broken up. This stable could get broken up. Nobody got broken up. Not one single thing.
You know why though, right? Because remember the last draft when they broke up the New Day and everyone was pissed because they're like, "Really? You're gonna take Biggie away? Like it's like taking custody of like someone else's child? Like what are you doing? No one wanted this.
That's one thing.
Who came up with that?"
Yeah. But
Yeah, I will say it was disappointing that there was no kind of split it up, because I think it was the right time to kind of do the split for like Montez Ford probably going on like SmackDown and Angelo going on Raw, just to see what they can do on their own, because they've kind of done everything. And then the SmackDown, I will say they addressed the two biggest problems with both shows. I said this on Twitter and I'll say it here. Raw's biggest problem was their main event scene was kind of lackluster. Now they have a legitimate main event scene with Seth, with Cody, with Gunther, with Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura. They have guys that are at a certain level of like the upper mid card that can go up into the World Heavyweight Championship scene. So they established that. And then over on SmackDown, their biggest problem overall on both shows was the SmackDown Women's Division, was the land of the misfit toys. And now they have the better women's division, in my opinion, with Bianca, with Charlotte, with Asuka, with Damage Control. Like they have all the kind of the heavy hitters more than Raw. Raw has a lot of potential on their women's division with the amount of NXT stars that they drafted, but I'm more interested on what's going on SmackDown, because you got now Alba Fire and Isla Dawn over there. You got some people that is going to get into the mix that makes it more interesting than what's going on Raw. So I will say they address those two problems, but just the overall problem, I do agree with Romeo. It's just so lame. I would not imagine going back, if I talked to SP3 from 2008, I rather when they put everybody's picture on it and just did the and then chose one for the group more than I liked how they do it now.
Yeah, that's rough to say, but yeah. I miss like the Undertaker, reacting backstage to being pissed off to being drafted on the same brand as Ric Flair.
The first two drafts are like peak. It's peak, especially the first one when it was Flair and Vince going back and forth. Like Vince would choose Kurt Angle, and then he would come back and pick somebody, and then Vince would pick Chris Benoit, and then
he'd have some cheating ass pick like the NWO.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
And then the Heyman Bischoff one was really good in 2004 as well. So, yeah, no, we're not going back to those days. Sorry, Romeo. But yes, the WWE draft makes things interesting because a couple of these matches are now very confusing. But we'll start with probably the match that confused everybody when it was announced for this show, WWE Backlash. We're going to see Seth freaking Rollins going one-on-one with Omos, And literally, after the match was announced, we got a segment between these two. And then on the go-home show last night, they did absolutely nothing to build this up. They were in two separate segments. It seemed like Seth Rollins the whole night was more setting up a matchup with Roman Reigns, despite him being on Raw and Roman being on SmackDown, more than he did anything with the guy he's versing this Saturday at the show. But Omos is a free agent, so he can go from Raw, he can go to SmackDown. We don't know what's going on with that. What do you think about this match and the whole setup for it, as well as who do you think is going to win, Justin?
So I've changed my mind on this match because at first I was like, what was Vince or Triple H smoking when they came up with this match? Because this makes absolutely no sense. Why are we pairing these together? There's zero heat there, but yet they're going to have this match. Why? But then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Seth doesn't really have bad matches. Like, you got to go all the way back to the Fiend in that Hell in a Cell match for like the last time that was like a stinker. Like, Seth puts on good matches and almost kind of knows what he is inside the ring. So he stays within his limits of like, I can do this, I can't do that. So when you're pairing someone with Seth's capabilities with Almost, that's going to be pretty damn good. I'm actually interested to see this.
So who do you got winning?
I mean, how do you go against Seth Rollins? Like, you heard that crowd last night, and you're hearing the crowds where it's just like, how do you not put that brand new World Heavyweight Championship on him?
This is true. And he needs the momentum if he's going to be in the running for that title coming up at the end of the month. Romeo, who you got, Seth and Omos, and what have you thought about the setup for this matchup?
This feels like something that Vince McMahon really wanted to see. And then Triple H was just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about this. I don't want to see this. As a matter of fact, I weakened Seth Rollins by putting him in against Omos right here in this spot. So that's what it feels like to me. I think Seth Rollins has to win this. He needs to win this. He's going to be, I think, the first World Heavyweight Champion. It should be impressive to see what Seth Rollins can get out of Omos. I think he get a little something. I don't think it's going to be a long match, but I think it'll be David versus Goliath, and Seth pulls it off.
Yeah, I don't know how this match is going to go and how they can, not diminish Omos by. I know Seth is a guy who's a main eventer, but just size wise, it just will see. It seems like it will diminish Omos if he lost this matchup to Seth. But I'm not picking Omos in any of these big matches that they seemingly always book him in. I'm an Omos sapien. I'm not an Omos phobe. I'm not one of those. I enjoy him a lot more than other people do, but I gotta go with Seth Rollins in this one. We got Dolores who says, is it better to be a free agent? Because it seems like you get more opportunities to try for different championships on both brands. It's like very confusing how they kind of made the announcement for these free agents, because you got people like Omos, who they said MVP worked it in his deal to be a free agent where he can go on either show, similar to what they said about Brock Lesnar at the start of last night's draft. And then there's other people like Cedric, Shelton, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, and Von Wagner, who just weren't picked in the 30-something picks that each show had, and now they're free agents. Like, neither show wanted them, so now they can go on both shows? That makes no sense, and that diminishes the Omos and Brock Lesnar reasoning.
A free agent should be, applied to legends who've earned that right.
Yes.
Like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the most fitting of this label. Everybody else should be assigned a freaking brand. Stop it.
I agree. We were having this discussion on Those Wrestling Girls live stream yesterday in real time. We're like, not everyone's a fan of these free agents. It's like, pick a show, one or the other. Even someone like Brock is like, pick a show. We're tired of this free agent. You come and go as you please. I get it. Brock's a special attraction. So you kind of want it to be like, if we keep him on Raw, that limits what he can do, versus if you have him a free agent, it opens up the entire playbook. But when you have this much talented people as free agents, like, dude, just put them on a show. Raw, there's 3 hours. You can't find them on a 3-hour show. Like, what's up?
Yeah, it makes me feel like this is not going to be the last big Omos matchup. That makes my pick, like, I'm kind of questioning it. I kind of want to pick Omos because Roman doesn't have a big matchup. Like, all the work they did last night was really kind of making it seem like Seth should be the person to verse Roman at day 1000 at Night of Champions, despite his focus being on the World Heavyweight Championship. So is it possible that they did all of that for Omos to beat him and set himself up as the next challenger for Roman?
They'll just throw him at Roman. They'll try to heat him up in a couple of weeks. They'll have him beat some random jabroni from the local area. Oh, Moss is a threat again. Yay.
Yep.
Do what he does every single week, which is beat a jobber to no reaction.
Yeah.
The fans
Big
just
match.
don't care anymore.
Oh, he looked impressive.
See,
We gotta give him a big
SP3,
match.
you want to pick almost, but you can't even say it with confidence. Like, I want to pick him. You're just like, how do I talk myself into this against Seth Rollins? Damn.
I'm like size wise, it just makes sense for Omos to win. Booking wise, it makes sense for Omos to win, but I can't force myself or talk myself into Omos beating Seth Rollins.
That crowd in Puerto Rico is singing this song twice.
Oh man. Oh, we got Dolores saying it's crazy Logan was not included because he has a part-time contract, but Brock is a part-timer and got drafted. No, he didn't get drafted. Brock is a free agent. Edge is a part-timer and he got drafted. Trish is a part-timer and she got drafted, but Brock didn't. So it's very confusing.
And Logan didn't either, right?
No, Logan. Yeah, Logan Paul didn't. But let's talk about the next matchup on this card for the United States Championship. You got Austin Theory defending against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Austin Theory was drafted to SmackDown along with Bobby Lashley, while Bronson Reed was drafted to Raw, which kind of gives away the finish to this matchup, unfortunately. But this was all set up with Bobby Lashley going one-on-one with Bronson Reed, following him eliminating him from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. They went to a no contest and started brawling after the match. The following week, Lashley went against Austin Theory, where Bronson Reed got involved to cause a disqualification and laid out Bobby Lashley. Following week after that, Theory and Reed laid out Lashley, and then Reed took out Austin Theory with the tsunami. And it sets up this matchup where Austin Theory defends it against two beefy men. Justin, who you got walking out with the U.S. gold here?
It's hard seeing Theory losing this title, even in a triple threat where the odds are just not in his favor. But I just see a scenario where Bobby and Bronson just cancel each other out, and then Theory just picks the scraps and is like, hey, I'm going to win this by hook or by crook, but I see him losing this title.
Well, there you go. Romeo, who you got?
I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because I did enjoy when Bronson and Lashley went at it a couple weeks ago on Raw. Yeah, I think that's a similar story to Justin here. I think Bronson Reed nails a tsunami off the top rope. Looks like he's about to win, and somehow Theory gets the pin on Lashley in a very slimy, heelish way, you know?
Yeah, that's what I see as well. I see Austin Theory retaining the title only because of I would have honestly, I was talking myself into picking Bronson Reed, but this is why you should do the draft the week after Backlash and not before Backlash, because Reed getting drafted to Raw, now that Raw has the Intercontinental title, it's like that would make no sense. So it's I'm frustrated with the whole draft concept, and I hate it. But Austin Theory is going to retain, I believe. Another title match on this card you got for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair will defend against Io Sky. Yes, I said for the Raw Women's Championship with two SmackDown stars now, as Bianca Belair was the second overall pick for Friday Night SmackDown, while Io Sky was drafted with Damage Control. Io Sky earned this opportunity, winning a triple threat match against Meacham and Piper Niven to earn this shot right here. Bianca Belair has kind of been feuding with Damage Control since they debuted in the company together back at SummerSlam. So this one seems like it's going to probably be the blow off between Damage Control and Bianca Belair. Hopefully, I don't know, but I got Bianca retaining. They got that Hulu reality show coming up, folks. She's holding on to this. She's holding on to this title so she could do a title swap with Rhea Ripley soon. Justin, who you got?
So outside of the main event, this is the match that I'm actually the most anticipated to see, because you forget how much history Bianca and Io have going all the way back to NXT, where their paths continually cross, and even on the main roster, like you said, like ever since Damage Control got called up, they've been crossing paths basically the entire time. It's almost like LeBron and Steph, where it's like they can't avoid each other, where Bianca has to go through someone in Damage Control, and Io and Bianca just have this history where Bianca's just on an unprecedented run. Like, really? I'm about to pick against her? I learned my lesson in the Bayley feud. Don't pick against Bianca.
That's where I learned my. How many previews did we do, Romeo? Where I picked Bayley to beat Bianca, and then was constantly disappointed that Bianca, LOL, Bianca wins. The new Cena of WWE, where she always wins. So yeah, I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, you know, Io's got a chance," and I'm just like, okay, all right. I mean, if you say so. I think I do agree with Justin, though. This has like the potential to be the match of the night. Romeo, who you got, Bianca or Io?
Certified banger alert this match here. There's a very short list of women that I would be acceptable with dethroning Bianca, and rest assured, Io Sky is definitely one of the names on that list that's worthy. I don't think the spot is here. It doesn't feel like it's here. It has been built up like it's here. When Bianca loses, it should be a big deal. I don't think this would feel like a big deal. Like, yes, I'd be happy for Io, but the moment doesn't feel right. The iron's not hot, really. So, LOL, Bianca wins. Don't pick against her. Not yet.
Got Vala B saying the LOL, Bianca wins in the chat. ALW says, I think Io could win here. Bianca has had a decent title run. The only thing that makes me think Bianca wins is because Damage Control has been booked so bad. I mean, Bianca is going to win. Like, I don't know why you think. I think that people, yes, Io Sky is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, but the booking, like Romeo said, it has not set her up to win here. It just doesn't feel like she is not the hot commodity that she should be. And it's especially, I would say that it was more likely that Asuka was going to win at WrestleMania than Io winning here.
I agree.
But how interesting would it be if Io surprised everyone? Because sometimes WWE loves to shake things up and hit you with something that you don't see coming. And especially if Io's the one that dethrones Bianca at this point in juncture, not only would Io become champion, but then what does that do for Damage Control? Because now Io can say, I did something you couldn't, Bayley. I actually beat Bianca when it mattered, and I got this title. How does that change Damage Control?
If Io did win, I think she'd have help. And then Damage Control would say, oh, we helped you.
I think that it's more likely that Damage Control will cost Io more than it will help her win the title. I think, they're damaged goods.
That part.
And I think that Bayley might attempt to help her out and then accidentally cost her the championship.
Yeah.
Dolores saying I can see Bayley messing it up for Io to start the damage downfall. I like that. That's a nice little wording there. We also got Frantic World saying Vince booking is bad, and now Triple H booking is bad as SMH. I mean, his booking of Damage Control was never good. So, I mean, he's been consistent. I will say that. The other side of the women's championship, who probably will become the Raw Women's Champion here. So this is really one title is for the other title, really. But for the SmackDown Women's Championship, it will be Raw's Rhea Ripley going up against SmackDown's Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega having the big matchup in front of her family in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The only Puerto Rican woman on the WWE roster getting her the biggest matchup of her WWE career here in San Juan at Backlash against Rhea Ripley. She's kind of gotten the one up on Rhea Ripley during the interactions between LWO and Judgment Day, but this is another one where I'm just like, yeah, Rhea's winning because LWO has never beaten Judgment Day at anything.
It won't start here.
It won't start here. And I will say, like, I had this kind of debate with Stephanie Hypes before they made this the matchup, because she was asking, like, okay, who is the people that could challenge Rhea Ripley at Backlash? And she was like, oh, Zelina Vega makes sense. And then I was like, I thought of all the ways it doesn't make sense, because I was like, she's lost to Rhea before WrestleMania in the mixed tag matchup when it was Rhea and Dom versus Santos and Zelina. Zelina Vega hasn't won a singles match in 2 years, since December 2021. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, but Zelina Vega's Puerto Rican. So yeah, she'll probably get the shot. Yeah. So I was like, but they have done nothing to really build her up, her credibility. She's had one win against Sonya Deville on last Friday SmackDown, where Sonya dominated the 3 minutes of the 4-minute matchup they had, and then Zelina got the win with the roll up, and then she DDTs Rhea Ripley and then runs away. So they have not done really anything to build her up outside of her getting like quick little moves on Rhea on the outside. But Justin, who do you got in this one, and what have you thought about the build up to this matchup?
First off, SP3, I need you to put some respect on Zelina Vega's name, because it's not just because she's Puerto Rican. We're talking about a woman that is a decorated champion. She was a former women's tag team champion.
I'm talking about how they built this up. I respect Zelina Vega. I've interviewed her. I know how talented she is, but she's not a decorated champion either.
She is a former women's tag team champion. She is a former queen of the ring. She has defended that women's tag team title, so yes. They don't put some respect on her name. Hey, once. There are some teams that can't even say they've defended it once.
That is true.
That's a very low bar.
As far as her being, a little timid when around Rhea, she's also being crafty. Like, look at Alexa Bliss, where Alexa Bliss used to be crafty, and she is a multi-decorated champion. Similar things. Rhea is just so dominant. It's like, how do I gain an edge on her? And Zelina is smaller. She's not as strong. She's not as athletic, but she's being crafty. She's using what she can to kind of get into Rhea's head. And especially if she's going to have the crowd behind her in Puerto Rico. But with that said, I mean, Rhea Ripley's been dominant for a reason.
He was like, I'm going to try my best here.
I had to give my girl her flowers, because people forget, like, yo, she's actually done some things. It's just that you're going against Rhea. Yeah, good luck.
I just wanted WWE to build her up stronger. If you're going to give her one matchup before the show, she should have beat Sonya Deville. Of all people, she should have beat Sonya Deville with whatever her finisher is. I don't know her finisher. I don't even know her finisher. That was the last time she won a match was in December of 2021. I would also like to mention that matchup that she won in December 2021 was against who, Romeo? Rhea Ripley.
Really?
Rhea Ripley. It was against Rhea Ripley. So she's got that. Romeo, who you got?
Yes, listen, I love Zelina, Puerto Rican from New York. But yeah, she's not winning this one. Sorry. It's Puerto Rican mommy, but the real mommy. She's got this. She's not losing this here. It's a nice little, bone to throw, Zelina, get to perform in front of your people, your home people. That'll be cool for her. And that should be a fun atmosphere, them rooting for her. But Rhea should win this, and I don't think it's going to be a long one.
I can see them getting like anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I could see that. I just wanted WWE to do more for her, especially because the fact that she got they talk about, how bad the setup for Omos and Seth Rollins were. Zelina Vega got her matchup because she explained to Adam Pearce that I'm Puerto Rican and short. That's literally go back and watch it. The whole promo where she was like, I'm undersized, I'm the only Puerto Rican on the female roster, I should get the shot. And then he was like, okay, let me go talk to Rhea and some officials. And then it was made later in the night.
Sometimes that's all you need, especially if you have a chancleta in your pocket. Like, yo, do this or else.
I need everybody to talk about their heritage and their size to get title shots from now on. We
Yes.
need that as the new standard. He's saying mommy wins. We got Krista B in the chat saying Zelina Vega is the only upset I'm looking for. Hey, that would be a shocking. That would be the shocker of this whole show if Zelina Vega got the win here.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one to pull off.
Indeed. And Queen Monet saying Zelina is going to get a flurry of offense on Rhea, but other than that, Rhea is going to destroy Zelina. I can see that. I can see that. Let's move on to the 6-man tag team matchup, as it's going to be the Bloodlines. Jimmy and Jey Uso teaming up with the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa, to verse the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, along with Matt Riddle. Of course, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got the win over the Usos to win the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. Following the show, seemed like the Bloodline had outnumbered Sami Zayn until Matt Riddle came and made the save for him, and this set up this whole big 6-man tag team matchup on the SmackDown, the draft edition of SmackDown. Sami and Kevin got the win over the Usos in a rematch where Solo Sikoa was apparently coming down to take care of the Usos, how it seemed, but Riddle took care of him, took him out of play, allowing Zayn and Owens to get the victory. Then we had last night with Matt Riddle going one-on-one with Jimmy Uso. Owens and Zayn set up Jay to get kicked out from ringside, and the numbers advantage gave Riddle the win over Jimmy Uso. We got a lot of dissension going on within the Bloodline, as the Usos have not been in communication with Roman Reigns since losing the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships at the Show of Shows. There's a lot at play here, but this seemingly will be the end of this rivalry after this show. Justin, what have you thought about the build up to this matchup, and who do you have winning in this trios match?
So Riddle is an interesting wrinkle in all this, because I totally forgot that the Bloodline was responsible for putting Riddle on the shelf, and I was at the show in DC when that happened. So I was like, oh yeah, that's why Riddle's got beef with Solo and everyone else. This now makes sense. So adding him to this feud is a perfect equalizer, because then the numbers don't favor Sami and KO. It's just you're gonna get ran through by the Bloodline. But now with Riddle evening the odds, is like, oh damn, this is actually interesting. So as far as how the match plays out, I'm kind of torn, because I could see you just brought back Riddle. Sami KO's just on a great run at the moment. Why would you have them lose? But at the same time, like, I could see Riddle being the one that cost Sami and KO like the victory, and like Solo, because Solo's also been booked very strongly right now. So I can see Solo picking up the win for Team Bloodline, beating Riddle.
Romeo, who you got, and what have you thought about this build up here?
The build-up's been good. It's kind of sad. This is it. This is it for the Usos, Sami, KO. This is the culmination. Unless you just want to ruin the complete concept of the draft, this is it. It's over. That's kind of sad. But we move forward with the new part of the Bloodline story, which they're starting to tell. And for that story to get some more sizzle, Usos and Solo have to lose this. KO and Sami and Riddle have to win. I would have Riddle pin one of the Usos just so he gets something out of all this. KO and Sami don't really need anything else. They've already beaten the Usos. I would have Riddle pin an Uso, and then you continue the storyline there with Roman being very disappointed and Solo probably about to,
You're gonna use the
take
thumb.
care of it. Yeah.
Gonna thumb his brother.
The thumb is ready.
Gonna thumb his brother, yo.
It should be a banger though. It should be like a PWG style match. It'll be fun.
This is like the spiritual sequel to last year's Backlash, when it was the Usos and Roman Reigns versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre, and you got pretty much half of that matchup in this match with Riddle and the Usos. We saw Zayn and Owens and the Usos have the best tag team match of the year so far at WrestleMania. You've seen Riddle and Solo have some good matches on TV, and all of that's coming together. I think this match should get a lot of time, like anywhere between maybe 20-25 minutes, and it should be an absolute banger. But I agree with Romeo. I think Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle get the win to further progress, and then finally we can get a new chapter of this bloodline feud, because I'm sorry, this shit has gotten stale in the past month. Ever since WrestleMania, it's just they've been dragging out the same story beats that we saw before WrestleMania and haven't add anything new. I really want this Solo to come out and thumb his brother. That would have been something new. Come out and thumb your brother so we can get to the next chapter, because we're still on the last chapter, even though the last chapter had a perfect ending. It just kept going. I just need it. I'm sorry. I'm getting frustrated when I talk about
we're
the
getting
build
there.
up for these matches.
We're getting there. You just got to remember, like, the Usos were also dominant champions like Roman. So now you're seeing the descent of the Usos, and now Roman going back to circa the Thunderdome era where he was just putting them through hell just for the fuck of it. And now you're seeing that descent of, like, we were on top. We were so dominant for a year. Now it's like, damn, we can't even buy a victory. It's coming. It's coming. We gotta be patient. I know you want it. You gotta be a little patient.
I'm being patient. It's been a month. We're going on 5 weeks now. I need
that awkward time of year where you're doing a draft, you're about to set up new rosters, you got to do these WrestleMania rematches first in some kind of way, and then you can start the new season of WWE.
Basically,
it's like the Raw after WrestleMania is supposed to be the season premiere for the next year, and all that was an absolute mess. And now we finally are gonna get to the season premiere after Backlash.
It was training camp. That's what that was. Raw at the Mania, so now it's training camp. So now after Backlash, it's like, all right, now the season begins.
Now it's a new season.
There you go.
Chilling with Chase saying Solo going to pin Riddle here should be a banger. I agree with also with Romeo when he says Riddle should probably get something out of this, because he's lost to Solo a lot on TV. He's lost in 2 back-to-back weeks to Riddle. So I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like Riddle's inclusion in all of this, but I agree with Justin. There's a lot of storyline reason for that, because it's not just Solo taking him out in December. It's the fact that they took out his best friend Randy Orton, and they took the Raw tag team titles from him. This feud with Riddle has actually been going on longer than a lot of the other stuff that we've seen with the Bloodline. It's been going on a year plus, pretty much.
Long-term storytelling.
There we go. Valabi saying, actually, I'm going Bloodline for the chaos. We also got Frantic World going for the Bloodline. So a little split in the chat, it seems here.
A lot of Bloodline.
Yeah, a lot of Bloodline.
Be disappointed.
You
say Bloodline, but this ain't Roman. Roman's not in the match.
Exactly. If it's Roman, then yeah, for sure, Bloodline's gonna win. But if you got Jimmy and Jay there, you gotta
fumbling all over the place. Jimmy and Jay.
We need them to lose. I think Jay takes the loss here. I think it's gonna be Jay, because you gotta have him at the center of whatever's gonna happen next with the Bloodline. He's got to lose here.
Life comes at you fast.
It's true. And then you can get your ass whipped. Will Jensen says, it's sad that we all ready for Solo to New Jack City, his brother. Yes! Nino Brown! Nino Sikoa! Come on.
My brother's keeper. Yes, I am. Thumb.
Instead of the gun, he got the thumb. Let's talk about what I think is going to be a double main event, because I can see either one of these matches headlining the show. Well, let's talk about probably the biggest match on the card for outside fans. You got Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with Brock Lesnar on the Raw after WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes chose Brock Lesnar to be his tag team partner against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and Brock turned his back on Cody, laid him out with a vicious attack. Since then, Cody Rhodes has set his sights on Brock Lesnar, challenged him for Backlash, and Brock has kind of stayed back and not wanted to get physical with Cody Rhodes, except we saw some physicality on Monday Night Raw last night with Cody actually getting some blood from Brock Lesnar by getting the jump on him, attacking him from behind before 85 million security came and stopped him. It's been a lot of security involvement in this feud and a lot of involvement from Adam Pearce, but who do you got taking the win in this one, Romeo?
Let me just say, I'm really looking forward to this. I enjoyed them putting these two together. Brock has always been Roman's kryptonite. That's the one guy that beats Roman more than anybody is Brock Lesnar. I can't see Cody conquering Brock in the first match. I think it's going to be multiple matches, and I think Brock wins the first one. It's hard for me to envision Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. Cody wins the first one. That's tough. It's hard for me to envision. It should be fun though. The crowd's going to go crazy for this. I'm really looking forward to it.
But you're going Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Justin, who you got?
So if we're going to tell this story of Cody's redemption and getting back to the top and having people come back around after basically losing their minds at the WrestleMania match when he lost to Roman, he should topple Brock here to kind of like springboard him, especially like this win. Beating Brock would do so much for Cody because, like Romeo perfectly put, like Brock is Roman's kryptonite. If you can't beat Roman, beat the guy that's closest to him, which is Brock. So if Cody got this win, it will mean so much. However, Cody's been getting the best of these exchanges, and this is Brock Lesnar, dude. That man is a monster and then some. I don't feel comfortable picking against Brock Lesnar in anything. He could fight a bear. I'm gonna be like, Brock.
I took Brock over the shark from that SummerSlam commercial. So I agree with Romeo. And I agree with Vala B. Cody needs more adversity. He needs to climb up the mountaintop. I think that I always said when this match was made that I see this as a 2-match series in the month of May. I think they do this first match at Backlash, and then they do the rematch at Night of Champions. I think Cody loses here in Puerto Rico, and then he wins in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. So I also am going to take Brock Lesnar getting the win here, even though I think WWE is playing a risky game here, because I agree with Justin that people were very upset with Cody losing at WrestleMania, and I expect Twitter to be scorched earth on people reacting to Brock Lesnar beating Cody on this show if that happens.
It'll be interesting to see how it happens. They got me there. That I'm intrigued. How they present this chapter of finishing the story.
We got Vala B said, but for real though, going for Cody, Brock can take the L. We also got Frantic Roll who says, I want to pick Cody, but Brock doesn't like black wrestlers, so Brock for the win.
I mean, Cody got Cuban in him, so technically it's like, hey.
He gonna do it. He gonna do it. Chilling with Jason. Cody's win. Cody Rhodes win. And it's either going to be an epic Brock Lesnar 5-minute sprint or a 30-minute overdramatic Cody classic. I think somewhere in the middle. 10
That's
minutes.
funny because it is such a clash of styles.
You think Brock Lesnar's going to wrestle a 30-minute match?
It's a funny clash of styles.
There may be a lot of zeros on that check if that's going to happen.
I think it's going to be more akin to like the John Cena Brock Lesnar match from Extreme Rules 2012. That's why I'm surprised that they didn't give this a stipulation in any way.
I can actually kind of see this match opening everything.
I can see
just
that.
so Brock can get out of there early.
Then again, this is their first match. How do you give this a stipulation right off the gate? Because then what does that set the tone if there are multiple matches that you're starting with a stipulation?
True.
It's nothing it's not a foreign concept to WWE, I'll tell you that much.
Exactly. It's not at all. It's not at all. Don't give both matches a stipulation. Will Chiz is saying, I'm picking Brock only because WWE giving Cody the 2012 comeback story. Talk about John Cena again. Dolores is Cody. Whoa, my Georgia boy winning. We also got Chillin' with Say saying, I don't mind Lesnar winning because it seems like Cody don't even want to be related to that WWE World Heavyweight title. That's why I think it's a 2-match series, is because they want to avoid putting Cody in that tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship.
In that case, would you have Cody win here and then Brock cost Cody during the tournament?
I mean, if you want to stretch it out to have the second match at like Money in the Bank, you can do that. But I think Brock gonna want his payday and a match. I think a match pays more than just him doing a run-in.
That's interesting though. Like, would you rather have Cody in the tournament or Money in the Bank? Do you want him
Money
with
in the
briefcase
Bank.
or do you want him with the title?
I want him Money in the Bank because then he can cash in on either title.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, no, I was saying like there's a tournament to the finals at Night of Champions, and Cody could lose in that tournament before the actual finals.
That's true. That is true. We got Roxy saying, "Damn, isn't Cody supposed to be the number one? If he loses back-to-back pay-per-views, that's not a good look." I think that Cody's totally fine with some adversity. He's totally fine. He was undefeated for a whole full year in WWE.
Let's not forget how he lost at WrestleMania. Let's not forget the atrocity, please. Don't let it slip through your mind yet. Don't let them make you forget how they cost Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Pearce will forget, but I won't.
Not one bloodline, not two bloodline, not three bloodline. It took all of them and the whole island of Samoa to put down Cody Rhodes.
The whole island of relevancy it took down to take down Cody Devontae Rhodes. He's saying Brock just got a suplex and talk shit. He said he ain't doing much if it's 30 minutes. You're bugging if you think this is going 30. You're completely.
I put the cap at 15, Chase. You probably get the most 15 out of Brock. And then after that, he's
and that's generous as hell, in my opinion. I think that we're closer to 10. We're closer to 10.
Brock's sweating like Patrick Ewing after 5.
Dang, man.
Patrick Ewing
Can Brock hit free throws?
He was like, I'll take it. And then this is what I think will actually be the headliner for this show, the battle for Puerto Rico. It's going to be Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in a San Juan street fight. It was at WrestleMania. Bad Bunny got involved in the one-on-one matchup between Rey and Dominic Mysterio, stopping Dom from using a chain to cheat to beat his father. Then on the Raw after WrestleMania, Dom got in Bad Bunny's face, with Bad Bunny laying him out twice with punches to the face. But Damian Priest, the former tag team partner and friend of Bad Bunny from WrestleMania 37, didn't like Bad Bunny sticking his nose in Judgment Day business and laid out his former friend with a choke slam through a table. Bad Bunny went to your local medical facility for weeks before making his return last week in Chicago, confronting Damian Priest, hitting him with a kendo stick before Damian Priest bailed. And what always seemed like we were going to get Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio versus Dom and Damian Priest, it kind of shifted to now one-on-one, the two Puerto Rican representatives in WWE, the Grammy Award-winning Bad Bunny versus the Judgment Day's Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight. Worked Wrestling put out the report yesterday that Bad Bunny and Damian Priest are apparently pushing to main event this show, and I'd say I think that's a good idea, because I think Brock and Cody is only going to go about 10 minutes. So this makes more sense to be the main event, and you can have all the smoke and whistles because it's a celebrity in there. You can have Ray and LWO get involved. You can have Rhea, Finn, Dom of the Judgment Day get involved, and you'll have enough smoke and mirrors where they can get us to like a 15-20 minute main event style matchup. But who do you think wins the battle for Puerto Rico here, Justin?
I'm torn because I love them both. This is like watching two siblings fight and you have to pick a side. Where it's just like, please don't die. I love you both. This is like watching Venus and Serena Williams in their prime play each other. And it's like, you got to pick a winner. Really, is the fans of Puerto Rico just win because you're getting one of the greatest guys in the world in Bad Bunny. And Damian Priest is doing, honestly, his best work right now as a heel. And then also you go back to that WrestleMania 37 match when they work together and they put on a banger, and you know they're going to bring the drama. You know they're going to bring the physicality. I don't know if Bad Bunny's going to make sure LWO comes out to help him, just like Damian's going to always have Judgment Day in his back pocket just in case. But this is going to be just violence and carnage, and damn. I'm torn on this because I'm with the Puerto Rican community, because a lot of them are torn on it too. Some are going for Damian Priest, some are going for Bad Bunny. I'm gonna say Priest.
Okay, so Damian Priest for the win for Justin. Another one that should be torn here, Romeo. Who are you going for in the battle for Puerto Rico? That's what they should have named it. They should never even called it. It should be San Juan Street Fight, and with the dash battle for Puerto Rico.
The brawl for it all.
Bad Bunny's at the Met Gala on Monday, and on Saturday he's whooping some ass in Puerto Rico. That's funny. I've enjoyed this build. I think Damian Priest was really came off like pretty cool last night on Raw, cutting the promo in Spanish, where it seemed like it's more comfortable for him to talk in Spanish, and it was a different presentation of him. I enjoyed that. I want to see more of that going forward. I definitely think this match should main event. I think the crowd is going to be looking forward to this more than anything on the show.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't do this to anyone who follows them to have to follow that. The crowd might be worn out from screaming the entire match of this. It would do a lot for Damian Priest if he won this. It would do a lot. Like, he'd be able to brag that he beat the global sensation Bad Bunny. I just don't see it happening. I don't think Bad Bunny's coming out here losing in Puerto Rico. I don't see it happening. Sorry. I know it's his good friend. I know he's also a Puerto Rican. I think Bad Bunny's winning this. You'll get all the bells and whistles. Judgment Day, LWO interfere. Maybe that's how they could protect Damian Priest a little bit from having all that go on around him. And that'll be fun too, because the crowd, I know it wasn't Puerto Rico on Monday, but the crowd hates Dominic. They give him so much shit. I think
they're gonna hate him. They're gonna hate him in Puerto Rico. Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Are you serious?
It's gonna be fun. But yeah, give me Bad Bunny.
They're gonna break a bottle of Bacardi, be like, "Oh yeah, I dare you to say something about Poppy one more time. I double dare you."
I'm not gonna be upset if Priest wins. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, they're gonna be like, yeah, Damian Priest should beat you, and he's gonna say, "No me funcionó, hermano." Doesn't work for me, brother, in Spanish. He's winning here. I think Bad Bunny has to win here. He's gonna be the biggest baby face on this card, and I totally agree with what both of you guys said. This is gonna be the match that the crowd is most involved with. You got two guys from Puerto Rico. You have a great story that they've been telling ever since the Raw after WrestleMania. This is going to have the most investment. You can get all the bells and whistles with LWO and Judgment Day involved. And by, circa of proxy, LWO will finally get a win over Judgment Day. So that we can finally get that in as well. So yeah, I'm going with Bad Bunny to win this one. But I think that this will be a crazy, fun type of matchup to end the show. They're gonna have the weapons involved, the big spots. I think Bad Bunny is gonna take some crazy bumps, and he's gonna take some crazy risks to kind of put on a show for his home country. It's gonna be great.
If WWE still doesn't have this penciled in as a main event, I don't even think they understand how much the crowd is going to be into this match.
It's not even close. This is going to be a nuclear crowd. You have two of your own people.
Yeah.
Possibly main eventing a WWE show, which never fucking happens. It's very rare you get one Latino talent to main event. You're going to get two.
Exactly.
It's not even debatable. It's like, Vince, put down the dye, go fix the mustache, let the main event. This is very fucking simple.
I would think that Vince would be the one pushing for this more than even Triple H, because Vince, he loves to have celebrities main event. I think that he would be totally down for this idea. I think it would be the Damian Priest part of this. And like I said, I don't think, like we had the comment earlier that said, oh, Priest loses credibility. Priest gains a lot by just being in the main event. He's in a main event of a show. Like,
he wouldn't get this other opportunity otherwise.
No.
Plus, it's a street fight where anything goes. You have weapons, you have tables, you throw people at people. There's so many things that can happen in a street fight where Priest can take an L and it's not going to hurt his credibility.
I thought it was going to be that tag match that you mentioned with Ray and Dominic also included, because I thought they didn't, trust Damian to be in there all alone at the top spot, but maybe they do.
Yeah. He's done great work leading into this. He's been the perfect heel foil for Bad Bunny. They already had the story from them teaming together at WrestleMania, so it just makes a world of sense. Dolores Exon, do you think Bunny and Zelina will have big entrance? I mean, you You saw Zelina's gear that she came out with on
Ooh.
SmackDown. She's going to have even more extravagant type of gear. It's going to be that big time of entrance. And I think, if you remember Bad Bunny at WrestleMania 37, he had the pyro. Yeah, he gonna do a whole performance.
I need a whole
ring.
concert. That's what I need.
He's gonna do a whole performance. Gonna have the dances out there. It's gonna be crazy.
I think Priest could have a nice one too.
Yeah,
Priest will get a big one, and then Zelina's the queen of cosplay. Like she's had gear for like this specific match for like probably like a month.
Oh, she got some Puerto Rican gear.
She's ready.
Oh man, it's gonna be a show for sure. There's a lot of stuff that's interesting on this card, despite some matches that I have zero interest in. I think it's gonna be a good show coming this Saturday.
We couldn't get Karrion Kross a match. He's Puerto Rican. We could have got one.
He's wrestling on Friday. They was like, we got you on Friday.
He is.
We got you on Friday.
Who's he
you can have your match. Shinsuke. He's gonna lose.
Oh, that's rough.
All the people.
You get Shinsuke. I mean, that's something.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
But it is funny that it seems like from our predictions, all the active Puerto Rican wrestlers are losing in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Cross,
you say active,
Priest, and Zelina are all losing. Thankfully, Priest is going to get
WWE.
Bad Bunny.
It's like, we're going to give you a pay-per-view, but you really think we're about to give you some W's? Really?
No bueno. No bueno, puppies. But yes, that brings us to a close on our Backlash preview. Thank you so much to Justin for joining us, giving us that Boricua flair here. Please let the people know where they can follow you on social media. You have a great social media, always funny tweets, always some insightful observations, and of course, where they can find you on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch channel and everything else you're doing, brother. The spotlight's yours.
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and now YouTube and Twitch at It's Justin Rich. You can find me Wednesday nights on Twitch for Those Wrestling Girls Fan Club. We actually have another Those Wrestling Girls show coming on later today for Those Wrestling Girls Sound Off with Krista and Christina. And that's usually on Friday, but we're doing it today, getting ready for Backlash. So we're starting off the week right. Wednesday nights, you can find us 7 to 9 for Fan Club. Tuesday nights, you can find me Twitter Spaces from time to time for Turnbuckle Talk with Mimi and Corey around 6:35, where we talk all things wrestling. You can find me from time to time here on True Heel Heat Sports and True Heel Heat Wrestling. Both of those channels are located on YouTube, where we talk wrestling, sports, and all that fun stuff. I was just on doing the NFL draft, giving my perspective on the Giants and where the season could be going. You know, a lot of expectations coming off of making the playoffs, winning a playoff game, and then getting demolished by the Eagles. So we'll see. We here, we outside, we active. We have a pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. God is good.
God is good. The Puerto Rican Day Parade has come early. It's coming to San Juan this Saturday. Romeo, please let the people know where they can follow you on social media and everything you got going on this week, sir.
For Romeo Anthony, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and right here on True Heel Heat Wrestling Channel, NX3 tonight, where we will be watching Knicks versus Heat. Elite Heat 50 tomorrow.
Not even watching NXT. He said the Knicks versus Heat.
That's right. Priorities.
No, listen, NXT, like, they've got a whole bunch of changes coming their way. It's going to be a whole new world NXT. We're going to get ready for that.
They're going to have to lean into this whole indie flair that they've been having on the peripheral, because they got gutted in this fucking draft.
Which I'm happy. I'm honestly happy, because a lot of those guys have been there way too long. The main roster needs some freshening up. Grayson Waller got drafted. He should have been on TV. How do you do that off screen?
Let's be real. Von Wagner, Zion Quinn, and Odyssey Jones were not ready to be drafted to the roster.
Yeah. And clearly, some were made free agents. So you're not ready. Whatever. Elite Heat tomorrow, Dynamite, watch along. Be back here Friday, more than likely, for watch along SmackDown in Puerto Rico. And of course, Backlash watch along Saturday. Join us as we watch the pay-per-view live.
Yeah, we got the Backlash watch along on Saturday. Also got True Hill Heat flagship podcast. We got more. Bowiqua Power coming for
Yes.
tell us who's the special guest for Saturday, Romeo.
You have at least Dedrin Colon of the House of Wrestling. He's been on the channel before. He's great.
Yes, he's been with us on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Dedrin, a great guy, always doing great work over at House of Wrestling. So he'll be joining me and Miss Chrissy Love this Saturday, talking about the weekend wrestling, final predictions for Backlash. See if I change my mind, I might. Follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. I'll be live in about an hour over on the Believe in Pro Wrestling YouTube channel with Rick Ucchino and special guest Evan Mack to discuss WWE Backlash and the WWE Draft. Also, check out us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. $3 a month. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Tomorrow, dropping a new edition of my Raw report, so stay tuned for that. And of course, check out all the great content we got here on the YouTube channel. We had our NJPW Wrestling Duntaku 2023 preview yesterday with me and Jay News, breaking down the card for tomorrow morning, so you can check out that.
Sorry about that.
And subscribe to True Hill Heat Sports as we did True Hill Heat Check number 6, talking about the first round of the playoffs, NBA playoffs. So check that out as well. But for Romeo,
One last comment
Yes.
from Follow B. Can we get a Savio Vega cameo? Come on, make it happen. Come on.
Savio, come on. We played you to intro the show. Savio Vega. I'm trying to work with MLW. I'm in contact with people from MLW. I got to get a Savio Vega interview from MLW. Come on, MLW. You know where we're at. For Romeo, for Justin, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our WWE Backlash 2023 preview. We are signing off until next time.